who is going to bombs away in Week 11?
Oh, man. So I was between three guys that I bet. Really small, of course. And I like Jameis in the revenge game angle against the Saints. I love the Browns this weekend. I was thinking about Geno Smith against the Niners because I like the Seahawks plus 6.5. But I want to wait and see what's up with DK Metcalf. I'm going to go with the guy that I never thought that I would be going with on bombs away. I'm not going to lie, Brad. I'm going to go with BoNix. Now, for BoNix to throw for 300 yards, plus 550, and he doesn't even actually, I'm cheating a little bit, he doesn't even need to go off for 300. 275 passing yards gives you plus 550. They won't post 300 for whatever reason. Also, though, BoNix to throw 3 touchdown passes, plus 650. Since week 5, BoNix, unlike Caleb Williams, sorry I had to take that shot, has gotten better, man. He looks like a real NFL quarterback. Like fantasy purposes, I have him in one league. He's averaging 20.6 points per game, which is, I believe, 7th among all quarterbacks. Now he's going against Atlanta, and Atlanta struggled a little bit. They've given up at least 2 passing touchdowns in each of their last 6 games. They only gave up 3 the first 4 weeks. Now they stepped up in class a little bit, but that's why I kind of like the 3 touchdown passes at that price. But I'm going to go with 300 yards. I like Denver in the game. Atlanta's struggling right now to get pressure, 29th only in pressure rate. So I'm thinking that BoNix is going to have a clean pocket the majority of the day, and he's going to be able to dice up that secondary. You're looking at it right now. He's got 10 big-time throws, only 3 turnover-worthy plays from a clean pocket this season. So I like BoNix quite a bit. 300 passing yards, plus 550, or you could go with 3 touchdowns if you want to get greedy, plus 650. And I also like the Broncos this week against Atlanta.
I know we call that bet hashtag Team Huevos and
Huevos
Gigantes, mi amigo, on BoNix. 3 more passing touchdowns or 300 or more pass yards. They don't even offer it. That's how huevosy it is. They got to, lock and load at the highest offer at 275 plus. Yeah, but still plus 550. So there you go. You can make a heaping pile of dollars if either one of those cashes. All right, I got to pick on the Baltimore Ravens. It's something I do every single week here on BetMGM tonight. Give me the Danger Witch and Russell Wilson to throw 3 or more passing touchdowns at plus 450. Guess what? He did that last week against the Commanders, who we're about to see in action here on Thursday Night Football. That's the only time he's had the season in 3 starts. He's gone 2-1-3 passing touchdowns in each of those starts. But look at the Ravens, number 28 in pass EPAD over the last 5 weeks. They have allowed 2.1 passing touchdowns per game, 21 in total. 4 quarterbacks have thrown for at least 3 airstrikes against them. And I know Russell Wilson only 33.3 red zone completion percentage, but the struggles are so well documented of this Ravens secondary. George Pickens probably going to catch at least 1. Maybe Pat Freiermuth gets the other. Maybe it's like a check down to Jalen Warren or Najee Harris or somebody else. I don't care, Russell. Just go 1, 2, and tres, mi amigos, through the air, and we're cashing in and counting our winnings at a plus 450 juice. There you go. Bombs away on BoNix and Russell Wilson here in Week 11. All right, it's time now for a little Century Sensations. Ooh. Players we feel are going to go for 100 or more yards, whether running back or wide receiver. And like I told you, you could even go tie it in if you really want to get crazy with the cheese whiz. Let's start with a running back first. Horvat, who hits a hundo on the ground in Week 11?
Yeah, so today I went down the street really quick, even though it's a chilly day here in the District of Columbia in Washington, D.C., and I had to stop and get my green juice because we're team #GetFit for the fall. And I stopped over at Nats Park, the BetMGM, the beautiful BetMGM right outside Nats Park, because we had a prop drop, and I wanted to bet some player props, of course. And I had a little Saint or a little whatever we got, and then I got the little devil right here on this shoulder, right? And the Saint was like, hey, just be safe, Ryan, and bet Nick Chubb over 60.5 rushing yards. And the devil was like, F it, we ball. Take Nick Chubb to rush for 100 yards, which is 4-1 plus 420. So Chubb's played 3 games now since coming back from injury. And he's clearly the early down back once again. He's playing about 60% of the snaps. He's had at least 15 carries in every single game. Now, the bad news right now for Nick Chubb, he's only averaging 2.7 yards per pop. but he's also faced 3 top 10 defenses so far against the run. The Saints, on the other hand, have given up, if you're looking at fantasy football purposes, which we always talk about how it correlates, the 4th most fantasy points. And you're looking at running backs are averaging 5.1 yards per attempt against the Saints. So if Chubb's going to get going this year, man, and he's not completely washed, I think this is the matchup. So I like Nick Chubb over 60.5 rushing yards, but I also like him as a century sensation to rush for 100 plus 420. You're looking at it right now, and you're looking at the Saints 29th in run stop win rate and 31st in run defense DVOA. So let's get down with Nick Chubb. Hopefully Cleveland's offensive line shows up in this game because I love Chubb to finally get going this week.
Yeah, order that bottle service at the Chubb Club behind the Velvet Rope. I think he is going to find the end zone as well. It's plus 100 for him on the anytime touchdown. I can't believe that's a plus money either. So I love that as well. If you want to double down on all the Nick Chubb action, wrote about him, as a matter of fact, at thegamingjuice.com, and my running back fantasy football flames. Go and read it right now. It's absolutely free. And this pick, also absolutely free. Devon Achane, 100 or more rush receiving yards. Now, heavy or juicy or minus 150. I'm going to give you a parlay option here momentarily that I actually fired off on earlier today. But let me give you the reasons behind why I like this play on combined yards for Achane. He's going against Vegas. You look at Las Vegas, okay, respectable number 12 in rush EPAD in the last 5 weeks. But on the season, they're giving up 4.64 yards per carry, 136.6 total yards per game, just at the running back position. 5 RBs have gone for 100 or more combined yards against them. Achane has done this 4 times this year. A decent but not spectacular 2.87 yards after contact per attempt. Decent but also not spectacular 15 missed tackles forced for him, but he's number 9 on the season among qualifying running backs in yards created per touch, earning 54.9% of the opportunity share. I think he's going to get probably like 55, 60 on the ground, and then get additional 40 or so through the air, hit a hundo, and we cash. True story, I didn't like the minus 150 juice individually because, I'm a coward that way. I like to get seduced by the juice. I'm all about plus money. So what I did was I parlayed the over on 100 rushing and receiving yards with Achane with the Bills on the money line. That is plus 203 at BetMGM. Greater than 2-1 odds. I'm in. So fade or follow, as I always say, that is up to you. Let's go to wide receiver. 100-yard pass catcher in week 11, Ryan Horvat. Who do you have?
Yeah, I also like the Bills. I would like the Bills a lot more if Dalton Kincaid was playing in this game, but again, he didn't practice today. He's dealing with that PCL injury. I planned on going with him if he was going to be in this matchup here because 32% of the receptions this season allowed by the Chiefs have come to the tight end position, and I was hoping for a big game. Also, you got Amari Cooper dealing with a wrist injury. This is the issue with the Chiefs this season. They don't have many issues. They're undefeated, right? And the defense is still damn good. But they're really missing L'Jarius Sneed. Trent McDuffie's traveling more. He's now DB number 1 there. He's given up about 6.1 yards per target, which has improved from last season. Josh Williams was going to be DB number 2, but he got beat out in camp. Jalen Watson took his spot. Then Jalen Watson got hurt. He was having a great season. Didn't give up a touchdown. 192 yards he gave up on 28 targets. Without Watson, though, the Chiefs have given up, right now they're actually giving up 54% of the passes have graded successful the last 3 weeks, 27th in the NFL. And I was looking at the opponents thinking, well, they've been in some close games, but they played the Raiders, right, with Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. They played the Bucs without Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, and then they played BoNix in Denver. So I was waiting on this one. I'm going to go with Khalil Shakir to have 100 receiving yards in this game. The number is plus 400. I think that's a really good price. Shakir's caught at least 6 passes for 50 receiving yards in the Bills' last 4 games. And if we don't get Kincaid, they're pretty beat up right now. I don't know who's going to be out there. The Chiefs have given up 6 touchdowns to wide receivers lined up in the slot. I like Shakir quite a bit, and I like that 4-1 price.